Hi everybody, this is BVS Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman vs. Superman Batman figure. So before we take a look at Batman, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with your standard DC Multiverse base, but I haven't had any problems with him standing so far. Up next, he comes with his data file, a really nice shot of the movie poster right there. And if you want to read the bio, go ahead and pause that right now. Up next, he comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, he comes with accessory holding hands. Up next, he comes with two batarangs, but these are comically large. He really can't hold them because of how large they were. I'm not quite sure why McFarlane Toys made them so large. And finally, he comes with his grapple gun. And this is sculpted really nicely, but there's no paint detail to it at all. It's just cast in this flat black color. I'm pretty sure the end of this is silver and the handle is brown, and it should have some wood grain sculpted to it. So it does look nice, but it doesn't have any sort of paint detail to it, so that's a bit unfortunate. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think this is actually a really good likeness of Ben Affleck. I feel like something is just a little bit off. I think it might be his 5 o'clock shadow that he always has. His face is really smooth right here. But other than that, I think this is actually a really good likeness of Ben Affleck as Batman. Another thing is I think the head is sitting a little too high on the peg. If you look at the images of Ben Affleck as Batman, you can see that his head isn't quite as high there. So yeah, I do think that his head needs to sit down on the peg just a little bit. I might trim the bottom ball peg and the one that goes up in here just a little bit to make the head sit just a little bit lower. But other than those two things, I think this is actually a pretty decent likeness of Ben Affleck, and it's definitely much better than that Flash movie version one. That one was a terrible likeness. The suit is sculpted phenomenally. You get some crazy texturing to it. It looks very nice. Even the Bat logo has some really awesome texturing to it. You can see the scratches in it. That looks really nice. You get a very awesome black wash to the suit. That looks really great. But one thing I noticed is whenever you turn the arms and then looking at the back here, the black wash is not there. You can see the nice black wash right here and then nothing here. So that is a bit unfortunate, but it's actually a pretty simple fix. I'll probably just do the black wash myself on this. Yes, you shouldn't have to, but it's really not that big of a deal because that's a pretty simple thing to do. But it is really weird that they didn't paint it on there. That is kind of odd. The belt is done in this really nice gold color. It also has a nice black wash to it. That looks really good. He is missing some paint right here on the gloves. I remember for the BVS design, he had gold knuckles. And I think even these were gold. You can see how this little square is standing out. I'm pretty sure all of this was gold in the movie, if I remember right. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure the knuckles and these were gold because that stood out to me when I watched the movie. You get even more sculpted details here on the boot. Some really nice sculpted leather. That looks very nice. I believe he also had some gold on the toes of his boots. So all the gold aside from on his belt is missing on this figure. I definitely wish that would have been painted on. It's just a tiny bit of gold right here on the end of his boots. He also has a very nice fabric cape. It drapes really nicely on the figure. Would have been really nice if it was wired, but I believe this was planned way before the wired cape started coming with the figures. So maybe we'll get one in the future. That'd be really nice to see a Ben Affleck Batman with a wired cape. That would be incredible. So now let's go ahead and go over his articulation. He has a ball-jointed head that can look up all the way. He can look down just about all the way. He can move his head side to side. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move all the way out. He has butterfly joints that are a little stiff. You can hear the noise they make whenever you're trying to roll them around, which I'd rather have stiff butterfly joints than loose ones like Nightwing had. Nightwing had extremely loose butterfly joints, so I guess a little too tight is better than too loose. He has a swivel at the bicep that can move side to side, double jointed elbows that can bend all the way in, wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around. He has a ball jointed diaphragm and waist that can move back all the way. He can actually crunch forward a very nice amount. That's some pretty good articulation right there. He can move side to side slightly up here at the diaphragm joint, and down here at the waist joint he can move side to side and all the way around very nicely. He has hips that can do a complete split. He can kick forward that far, He can kick back all the way. He has a very slight thigh swivel. Looking underneath here, I think it's because of this piece of plastic right here. If you could trim this, I think he would have some really good articulation. Because it does move forward, it's just the back. You can see this part of the leg, I guess that's the butt cheek, actually hitting on that piece inside there. So if you could trim this down a little bit, I think he'd have some really good articulation right there. He has double jointed knees that can move back all the way, ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, spin all the way around, and toe articulation that can move up all the way. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to Superman. Here he is next to the Ben Affleck Flash movie Batman figure, which looks nothing like him. I even repainted the cowl and painted the eyes one better, and still, it does not look like him whatsoever. Here he is next to the Michael Keaton Batman figure, and now McFarlane Toys has made my two favorite live-action Batman figures. These look very awesome. And finally, here he is next to the Flash. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because McFarlane Toys did an awesome job on this. Ben Affleck is my favorite movie Batman, and I think McFarlane Toys captured that pretty well. The only complaint I have is that it is lacking some paint in places, like the touches of gold on his gloves and boots, and the 5 o'clock shadow he has. Oh, and the black wash being missing. You can see where the paint kind of just stops. It's almost like a perfect line from the bicep down where you see that black wash stop. So I do wish it would have had just a little bit more paint detail to it, but other than that, I think this is a very awesome figure, and I'd highly recommend picking up because it is very awesome. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.